that brings us to what worries you most about the Tennessee Titans. And Greg, we'll go to you first.
Wow.
Do you have
Wow.
to? Why don't we go somewhere
What
else?
are you
here
two
first?
doing? Neither of you look
Listen,
like you're paying
I
attention.
am working for one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm asking. What are you guys doing?
I'm right here with
I
you.
am posting everything to social media,
Okay.
as I do to start every show. So thank you for bus tossing me.
I'll go first. You do what you do. I'm
Finish
listening
it.
to you, Hogue. And what I was doing a quick reset with the Callahans, because I think it's just cool that Brian is the head coach and he hired his son Bill to be the offensive line coach. 40 years old, 68 years old. That's a cool story. Son's the head coach. Dad's brought back in, and Bill's been around forever. I mean, 46 years coaching experience, 25 years in the NFL. But the reason why I'm talking about it too, not just the father-son, is where my concern is the revamped Tennessee Titans offensive line and potentially what they could do to the Bears keeping the ball on the ground. You do have, Derrick Henry's gone, but you have what I think is going to be their strength of that team, a dynamic running back combo with Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Will Levis, by the way, he's not going to run a ton, but when he does, he's got that size to make a difference too. But so they went out, they drafted J.C. Latham, 7th overall. He is moving from right tackle to left tackle, which is interesting. But, I mean, this is a guy who allowed 2 sacks in over 1,000 opportunities at Alabama. And in 50 snaps in the preseason, he was flawless. So the guy's been – now, granted, it wasn't against – it's preseason, 14 snaps against the Niners, 36 against the Saints, not against starters, whatever. Still, guy has looked good in the preseason, so I'm worried about it. Or like I've got respect for Latham. And then you got Peter Skoronski, who made the transition. Everybody knows Skoronski, Northwestern, made the transition from tackle to guard. Last year, the Titans' offensive line, the reason why they're having this makeover is because they gave up 64 sacks. But Skoronski...
Thank you for clarifying the position.
Well, I think no problem. I just for those out there that were just following the Skoronski curve, I thought it was important to mention. He wasn't elite his rookie year, but I think this is going to be
Looks
a guy.
Good now.
Yeah, he looks awful good right now. And then, they went out and signed Lloyd Kirschenberry, bringing him over from the Broncos to play center, one of the top centers in the league. So you have a wall on the left side going against whoever the Bears are going to be rushing, Austin Booker, DeMarcus Walker, whoever's going to step up here. So I'm wondering if the Titans are going to be able to keep the ball on the ground, use that left side, control the clock. That is my biggest concern.
Yeah. Austin
Rags,
Booker.
what about you?
Yep. Austin Booker is the second string ahead of Dom Rob. Honestly, the thing that worries me the most, it's a pretty obvious one, and I think a lot of Bears fans have been dialed into this all offseason, and that's the interior of the Bears offensive line. How are they going to hold up against the Titans defensive line, which is certainly formidable? You obviously, Tavondre Sweat, nose tackle out of Texas. Anybody that's followed Texas knows this dude can play. And then then Jeffrey Simmons. This is a guy that is an absolute monster. He is a beast. And he's also somebody that called Caleb Williams out a few months ago with some trash talk, some early trash talk here before we even got to training camp. So I know he's got, this whole thing circled. So I'm concerned because of the continuity on the interior of the offensive line, specifically that right side. Tevin Jenkins, I know what I can get from Tevin Jenkins. But because of the carousel of trying to figure out who your center was with Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates, and Coleman Shelton kind of winning that job by default because of Ryan Bates' injury, we don't really know how that would have played out. And then also Nate Davis being a late arrival to practicing every day. Have they built up enough continuity to take care of the beef of that interior defensive line for the Titans? Because you want to establish the run. You can't just run on the edges. How many times last year on 3rd and short did they have no idea, the Bears, what they wanted to do? Whether it was the tush push with a quarterback or tush push with Cole Kmet, lining up in shotgun because you don't know what to do. So those things concern me. And then obviously that interior push, as we've learned before, is vital to protect that so your quarterback can develop properly in the pocket. If he doesn't trust that your interior line is going to hold up, then he's going to bail out of the pocket more times than not. We've seen that in the past year. They got to get it short up so Caleb can feel comfortable, grip it, and rip it.
So I guess I'm going to be the meatball here.
No concerns we're going to win by 40? Bears are going to win by 40?
There's nothing on this Titans team that has me terribly worried. If there was anywhere I was going to lean, it would have been what Greg just said, which is potentially the interior of that D-line against the Bears' offensive line. But, I think they do. I should have also mentioned that L'Jarius Sneed was signed brought over, and that was a trade, right? They got some decent players. The Bears also have decent players now. Like, I don't know. I can't look at the depth charts and be like, they have an advantage at any given spot. And if anything, the Bears have the advantage with their depth that they have. So, for me, that sound like a football coach here. I'm more worried about what the Bears are going to do. I think that this is a game that's in their hands. There's not anything the Titans have that's going to overwhelm them, at least on paper, that if the Bears go out and handle what they are capable of handling on both sides of the ball. I'm not worried about the Bears defense against this offense. They're going to be good against the run. They added Kevin Byard from the Titans too. That'll help. I just think this is really, I hate to do this already, but it's kind of on Caleb to distribute the ball, play point guard. There's going to be guys open. If he does what he needs to do and the Bears can establish the run on their end, there's not anything on the Titans side that has me terribly worried. So I guess that's my answer. Nothing worries me.
Well,
I'm more worried about the Bears getting their stuff done on their when they're in control. So that's where I am on that right now.
We all silly like the mayor.